Don't be surprised if you're the only one that's capable of optimism for miles around for the next couple of months. See, Papa Jupiter's going direct. He's going to be the only one of the big three. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter were all in retrograde. They were all kind of like finally at the same board meeting, kind of wanting the same things. Now all of a sudden Jupiter's like, pop, back to direct. And in the sign of Capricorn, he's going to be like the benevolent father. Like, all right, well, how do we get these kids to do their best? How do we get them to believe in themselves and encourage them and direct them to go in the best possible way forward? And Saturn going to be like, forward, and Pluto's going to be like, and Jupiter's going to be like, what's up with you guys? So, yes, you are going to have this rush of optimism, 100%. And it's going to be up to you to believe in it no matter what. To stand by your optimism, to not give up on it, to decide that it is worth having even if everybody else is still contradicting you, to get your really great sense of humor ready, Sagittarius, because you're going to need it to deal with all the curmudgeon old guys at the board table who want to just keep everything going backwards and want to do some more research and want to do some more research and want to do some more research and want to figure out and want to find out and want to punish and want to do that. And you're just going to be like, all right, guys, you know what? I thought we did that already. It's kind of getting boring. Can we get over it, get on with it, move on? You are so ready to move forward and nobody else is. Nobody else that is at the decision-making table, let's put it that way. But the wonderful thing is it's almost like a clarification of your energies. Like your energy is back. It's this feeling of yes. I have my sense of who I am back. I have my sense of optimism. I have my sense of courage. I have my sense of intrepidatiousness. I have my sense of adventure, and it's all back. But you're still going to have to figure out how to be diplomatic and ask for advice. At least make people feel like you're including them in your decision-making process. This is a good time to consult the experts, decide the outcome. Somebody is still deliberating. Somebody is still making a very important decision where you're concerned, or you're still making a very important decision where you're concerned, and you may need to get somebody else's advice to do it. This is a wacky way to say consult an expert, but it's somebody that just has more insight into the world that you're entering, right? So there's this whole new world dawning in front of you, and you don't want to really wait anymore, but you still want, you still need to get a couple of facts. You still need to get some information all together. There's still stuff going on that you don't understand, and it is an important time to make sure that even though you've started moving forward, you move forward the right way. Now I know you're like, what, forward? There's one direction, but that's not true. There's many different directions, and there's many different doors and many different possibilities. And with Mercury and Libra right now, you might not be very inspired to make decisions, but that's actually going to play out very good for you. Why? Because you shouldn't be making any decisions right now. You should still be learning. You should still be taking in the facts and figuring out, what is actually the best route for you? What actually makes you feel most comfortable, intuitively? Which direction do you want to go? Which direction do you want to head? That's all good stuff to be asking yourself. But it is definite. And it is decided that the one thing you have to do is get moving forward. Start moving those plans in the direction of the future. That's what you are anyway. You're future focused. You're already one step into tomorrow. So get back in there. It's where you belong. And yeah, it is going to take a little bit of courage, and it is going to take faith, and it is going to take you not having all the answers and realizing that, sometimes you're just not going to know. Right? But be okay without knowing. There is a little bit of it. Would it be an adventure if that weren't the case? No. And there's that sense of now that Jupiter is direct, you will have your luck back again. things will be more clear for you. If things have been burdensome, if shit has popped up that has kind of held you back and kept you restricted, it's a sense of finally realizing or understanding where those restrictions are coming from and how to control them and what decisions are best to make. It's like finally you've gotten the results back, right? And now you know what to do, or now you can make an informed decision, whereas before you really couldn't make an informed decision. You didn't know, you were bumping your ass around in the dark. Well, you're not in the dark anymore. It's like, yes, those results have come back, and now you can make a decision based on what is actually true, what is actually happening, and what is actually possible. And so now you can come back into the art of the possibility. Oh, on the road again, Sagittarius. Isn't this liberating? Isn't it just make you feel like free at last? Free at last. It's like I'm back to being myself. It's like you're back in the saddle again, right? And you will be. But there is this last leg of the humdum doldrums. It's a couple of days before Jupiter goes direct. I think it's the 12th that Jupiter goes direct. So and we're at the 7th now. So 5 more days. So it's less than a week. It's less than a week, and it's kind of like gearing up to like kind of yawning. It's kind of like you're yawning. It's like you're maybe dealing with last minute odds and ends. You may be closing up old shit that you had left untaken care of, right? Because the last thing that you want to do is leave the boardroom with your shit sloppy, right? Because you've been sitting at the board table for a long time, sort of in retrograde with all the other big guys, all the other old bald men sitting there fucking like judging people and judging the circumstance and judging the situation and sitting on the review board. The last thing you want to do is leave your area messy when you go. So basically this is about getting shit tidying up, getting ready, getting prepared, but all in the spirit of getting prepared to move forward, heading back out there, getting back on the saddle. It's like you're traveling again. I don't know if you guys got plans to go somewhere or you're just going to start making plans to go somewhere, but this is the time when you can actually start like planning on going somewhere and planning your future and planning on getting out there, because remember where you're headed. You are still in Capricorn for the time being, but you're headed into Aquarius. So this is the time where you're gearing up to like visit friends, be with friends, be social. Like you're gonna listen, the one thing you're gonna like, the restriction you're gonna people are all gonna jump on you is now that you're ready to be out there, it's almost like the rest of the world has to catch up to you, and with your lead and with your ability to kind of like light the way forward and see the upside of down and have that optimistic outlook even when everybody else is a naysayer. Your ability to do that is actually going to be encouraging and inspiring, and Jupiter is going to really start to turn us in the right direction, and I'm so glad that it's finally happening. But like I said, it's Saturn is still in retrograde, I think until November. Pluto is in retrograde. I gotta find out what Pluto is in retrograde too. But Pluto in retrograde is a little bit more, it's nice to have him in review. It's nice to have him looking over things instead of just coming in and destroying everything, even though that's kind of what he's been doing all year. But with you moving direct, there will be this opposition. There will be pressure on the board to start at least considering doing things in a different way. And that is exactly the position that you want the world going in as we finish up 2020, which has been, hell of a shit show, to say the least. However, there will be those naysayers. But this is how it's going to feel. Think about it. It's this big old smog monster coming back, doom and gloom. And you're going to be like, don't fucking doom and gloom me. Get your ass back to wherever your nasty ass came from. Seriously. And take your cough with you. You don't see, that's how you're going to be. It's like you're standing up to the darkness. You're shedding your light. You're finally like turning around, and at least we have one person now that's standing up for what's good, what's right, what's positive, what's progressive. And there's that sense in your life that, the little light is shining inside of you now. You don't have to, it's back. It's well lit and it's back. But there is that sense of paternal. Now, paternal as in a positive father, a good father, a gentle father, but a father nonetheless that believes in their child. It's almost like, continue the metaphor with me. You see the potential in the future. You see the potential that they have. You see that they are so talented and so gifted, and there's so much to offer here. And yet there's all these rebel rousers and bullshit around them that could easily take them in the wrong direction. But because you see it, because you see the positive, that's where you're aiming your energy, and that energy is going to push a lot, especially in the mind of the children, the people who are there to follow you. You will be able to influence people, Sagittarius, to see and believe now in more positive things, even if the children have gotten themselves in trouble, and there's a lot of trouble to contend with. It's almost like, all right, well, put your big boy or girl panties on. You can do this. You can handle it. You got yourself into this situation. I know that you can figure your way out. There most certainly is a way out, and you have the intelligence to do it. It's like putting your foot down, but in the sense of, I'm putting my foot down, but not on your throat, right? I'm putting my foot down so that you can, I'm putting my foot down so that you can stand on my knees, and you can see the future that I can see for you. Parental. This is even motherly. This is even motherly, Cancerian energy. A lot of energy of just nurturing, protecting, defending, and being helpful. And really your only motive is to be helpful. Maybe even, being directly helpful to somebody, but this is a sense of being engaged in your home. Maybe starting at home, starting with what you have to work with first. It's like making an example of yourself first before you start putting all your advice out there. But this is definitely that sense of seeing somebody through the woods, having their back, being that wise old owl, being that aerial perspective, giving people advice, finding advice, taking advice, getting counsel. Yes, you're doing this the right way, but the bottom line is, and this is the most wonderful part, is you're doing it. So there is that sense of you will not be left alone in the dark. You will not accept the dark as the only way, the only direction. It isn't the only way, the only direction. There is optimism and hope here, and there is a sense of, yes, you will be able to continue your journey. So whatever impediments were in your way, they have now been illuminated so that they may still be in your way, but you can see clearly the way around them. So your questions are going to be answered, Sagittarius. Yay! Okay. Let's get into the main reading. What is that? Okay. Sagittarius, 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 Sagittarius. You have everything that you need. You have everything that you need. And most of what you want. But you have everything that you need. Absolutely everything. So this is love is all around. But it's not. All around you is still paranoia. All around you is still people wanting to listen, obey, and respond. Like saying what needs to be said, just repeating what has been said to them or spoken to them. There's a lot of parroting going on. There's a lot of cowardice going on. And you can see it clearly. You're not a part of it anymore. It's almost like you've been woken up, and now you see that everybody else is asleep. And you're like, get the fuck, everybody, get the fuck up. You're actually asleep. And they're like, shh, no, our dreams are our reality. And it's not true. So, but you know very clearly that you're not surrounded by love. You're surrounded by dissonance. And the good news in that is that you know it, right? You're aware of it. There's still dissonance around you. There's still challenges around you. 100%, not everybody is on your side, but at least you're back on your side. That's the good shit right there. And resources are coming back in. Now, they still may be hard to come by. Somebody is asking you to checking up on your shit, trying to make you balance out the books, holding you accountable for all this stuff. But the bottom line, your bottom line at the end of the day is finances are good. And people may be filling you with a lot of haterade because of it, but you do have a lot of opportunities and a lot of abundance. And I think that part of this is your attitude. Your attitude has welcomed in. It's like the gravity now for abundance, because hey, nobody else is. In other words, I'm saying you have opportunity. You have opportunity that other people aren't grabbing at because they choose to stay asleep. Well, you can just upload it and you can just put it onto your truck and grab that dough. I'm such a fan of the Golden Girls, sick. But there is that sense of there's a lot to be had now because everybody else has turned in the opposite direction, right? Everybody else is kind of like still sleepy and you've just woken up. There's so much abundance in universal, but look at this, the abundant universe will provide. I mean, luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. It's like the lines are short now, Sagittarius. They're short. Go get your stuff. Freedom is yours, running free through the streets because nobody's in your way. Also, a sense of happiness and reconnecting with friends. You may have been really cooped up and feeling like so restricted, because I know you guys love to be social and you love to have parties, and I know that you love to flirt, and how the hell can you do that in quarantine? In a lot of ways, I guess, you know, you'd have fun on Zoom too, sure. You'd have fun on social media, sure. But now you're liberated, and now you can go in any direction that you choose. So it's literally, chains have been taken off. So whatever restriction was holding you back, whatever bad news that you were dealing with, now there's an abundance of good news to combat that. Dream the world into being. This is dreaming of the future, but the past is still haunting you. It is still very much something that you have to deal with. See the skeleton in the back? That sense of knowing where you came from, I think, is what it is. And if you use this to make gratitude your attitude, that's the best way to use this energy. There's this beautiful sense of, oh my God, I can't believe we're not there anymore. Oh my God, I'm so grateful that we don't live where we used to. Don't get stuck here, but I don't think there's a possibility. There's such a forward focus of you right now where you just want to just think about the future and you're prepared for the future, but there is still that sort of reflection upon everything that you've been through, almost like, oh my God. It's like a pause. Let me say this. It's a pause button so you can like sit on your stoop and go, oh my God, the sunshine again. Oh my God, the blue sky again. Oh, that feels so fucking good. Reflecting upon all that was lost, all that was sacrificed, all that you went through, and realizing just how blessed you are right now. But there's definitely abundance coming in. Act as if. This is a really interesting energy to come up here, but it's almost like you're trying to blend in. You're trying not to bring too much attention to yourself. Not that you don't like attention, but you know, there's a sense of realizing that maybe other people aren't ready to be awake. So maybe you're not going around trying to wake them up really quickly anymore. Instead, you're just like tiptoeing around and you're like, all right, they'll wake up when they're ready, but I'm ready, and I'm definitely going to get into the motion. And you're into the motions, but you're sort of just trying to blend and not bring a lot of attention to yourself. Act as if everything's normal here. No big deal. No big deal. It's like, don't wake the zombies. Because the truth is, if you wake them now, they'll be brain dead and they'll be zombies. And you don't want to wake the zombies. So there's a sense of, you know, almost like tiptoeing through the morgue, but at least you're alive, right? Yay! It's kind of still macabre. I know. I understand that, and that's the truth. But for right now, it's what you got to work with. And it's almost like a fake it till you make it attitude. That's what this is. It's fake it till you make it. So not everything is completely healed. And I don't think that you're kidding yourself. But I do know that you know that we're on the up and up again. Oh, shit. There's that scorpionic energy. And I think you have to get through Scorpio season because things will still be tricky and low energy through Scorpio season. So this is just an assessment period, kind of like figuring out what it is and how you want your world to look. But you are still walking in a spider's web, and you still have to be very careful where you step. People are still judging you at every corner. Like I said, Saturn and Pluto are still moving in retrograde. So there's that sense of they're gonna be trying to trap you. They're gonna try to be calling you out. And I think there's just that sense of know it, realize it, recognize it, and watch where you step. Know your worth. Yes, baby. This is a sense of, see this little skunk? He's like, I know I'm a skunk, but I love flowers, and I'm going to love what I love no matter what, right? He's like, I don't have to explain myself to anybody. This is Aries energy, but it's a gentle Aries energy. It's finding confidence in yourself without having to put it in everybody else's face. And it's like a silent rebellion, if you will. Not really a rebellion, but a silent call to action, a call to your sense of self. But you're doing it passively. You're like, I'm just going to enjoy what I enjoy. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm not going to ask you to join me. But when you're ready, the table is set. Coming out of the dark, I see the light. That is what it is, man. It's like, I know bats don't fly in the light, but it's like spreading your wings. Finally being able to take a big old yawn and come out of that cocoon phase and get back into, holy crap, there's a world to explore. And like I said, you're about to travel. It's still dark. You still got to worry about bumping your head into something because unlike a bat, you can't see in the dark. But you can travel again. You can travel again. This may be the time when we start to see travel restrictions starting to lift, which would be really interesting, wouldn't it be? But that it seems like that's kind of like the energy that we're gearing up for. And like as soon as you hear like we're not banned from going to Europe anymore, you're like, shh, I can buy a ticket. And it's like, yes, you can buy a ticket. Oh my God. You know, there could be, however, I will say this, the caveat is whatever flirtatious or thing you had going on in Zoom, somebody could automatically expect you to be like, well, then come visit me. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's why you want to keep it to yourself a little bit. You want to be sure that the people who know you can move around are the people you want to know can move around. So there's still a way for you to use this energy that where most people are still asleep. Be like, maybe if I don't yawn so loud, they'll think I'm still asleep too. I don't want to. You don't want to let everybody know that you're awake, right? You don't want to like open your checkbook and be like, look how much money I have. You want to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep it low, keep it soft, keep it in your pocket. Because you don't want other people to start setting expectations for you. Co-create with spirit. 7 + 1 is 8. This is really connecting with the divine. And this is definitely coming out of the dark. Finding your way into the light. The raven holds rays of light on its back. So even though it's black and it's dark, it brings hope and it brings realization. It brings fact. It brings clarity. So this is almost you being a conduit and a messenger spirit. Like clarity is finally yours. I'm going to scratch my puppy. And now is a lucky time. Oh, the raven is... So in other words, when you get news, it's going to be good news. Even though it may not be good news to everybody, it'll be music to your ears because it'll certainly liberate you. This is about being able to expand, capitalize, or multiply your abundance. This could also be a sense of hearing from your children again. If you have lost touch with somebody and they had not connected with you, it's almost like they're coming back into your lives. It's almost like getting lucky. It could be insider trading tip. Like, yeah, because you're the first one to arrive. It's like you get the worm. You get the intel. You get the insight. You're connected to the cosmos and the direction that the cosmos wants to move in. What? Let's get some angel messages out here for you. Even though overall, this is a really good reading. This is a good reading. Ooh, divine mystery. I think you're all about it. You're all about divine mystery. Yes! Like you're playing a game of Clue or something. Divine mystery. You, along with the sun, earth, the moon, and stars, are part of one creation, a divine mystery unfolding each moment. Be present and feel the power of now. This is so beautiful. And let me tell you why. Because finally you are moving forward again, right? And there is that sense of you now being in alignment with the sun and the moon and the earth. There's a sense of you being on everybody's side again, instead of you being on the opposite side of the table, judging the shit out of people or trying to direct people. It's like you're there, like coaches in the dugout again, right? Like you're like a coach that's like on the playing field. You're right there with your team. That's such a beautiful thing. Vision. A positive outcome requires a positive vision, and I think that's where you're at. Visualize everyone involved in your present situation surrounded by light and love. Make sure to include yourself also. Your love has the power to influence and transform the current events. So important for you guys to have faith. So important for you guys to love. So important for you guys to be looking forward. You are the vision. You are the visionary. You are the way forward. No pressure. And you know what? It's not pressure. It's literally the angels are saying, don't you be scared for a minute that you have a positive outlook when you're surrounded by a negative one, because you are the breakthrough. You are the trailblazer. You're the one that starts the forward motion again. Transformation. Wow. Through the great love that holds you in its embrace, you are moment by moment transforming to ever greater light, ever greater oneness, and ever greater wisdom. You're moving up. You're moving out. You be moving on up to the east side. You going to the east side. That's where you headed, to the east side. A deluxe apartment in the sky. This is the future. You hold it, and your ideas are the vision for the future. This is a sense of you getting on that, and you getting back to working on that. And definitely, your life is taking on a new look. 100%. But gosh, if anybody likes new looks, it's you guys. Surrender. There's no point in pushing the barrow up such a steep hill. Go back to the start. Surrender your expectations. There is an easier way. When the time is right, a new path will appear. So this is you sipping on the front porch, enjoying your cup of coffee, feeling the sunshine on your face, and just enjoying that you're out of that deep slumber. Okay, that's what you're doing right now. Give over to that and don't expect too much. Just expect the happiness to be there for you to absorb. Trust. Okay, all will work out well. We, your angels, are here to nurture, protect, and heal you. Trust in the healing power of our love. We love you more than you will ever know. Those last bumps in the road are the last bumps in the road. Let's see what Tarot has to say. The link is below, Sagittarius. I'll see you guys over there.